And we are back in another beautiful interview right here on Unity Live Radio. We have with us a special lady after encountering the ugly face of domestic violence and developing four different health conditions. Shana Gourdine's life took a new turn. And of course, she is now a book author because of these experiences. And Shana is also a motivational speaker, a podcast host, and an artist. But let's see what else. We're here with Shana Gourdine over there in New York, USA for the first time. We welcome you, Miss Gourdine. How are you doing? Welcome to the Lady Tracey Show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing well.
I'm excited to hear about your experience. Girl, you've been through the rough. And I know that a woman who has been pressed so much is pure gold. But can you tell us a little bit more about who Shana Gourdine is?
Absolutely. I am originally from Cross, South Carolina, which is in the United States. And I am the mother of two beautiful girls, Liana and Samira. Those are my world. And yeah, I have a BA in sociology, and I love to do anything nature-wise. I like to be outside, like that's how I ground myself. And yeah, the ugly thing of domestic violence did happen. And that's kind of, you know, how this story trail of me coming into being an author came about.
Oh, I'm excited because I mean there's so much to tell of a woman who've been through so much and came out successful, and we will be touching her successes in a few. But let's get to the book. I've noticed you have released two books, The Mask Behind the Mask, and also Unveiling Pieces of a Broken Mask. I'm not sure which one is the recent one, but can you tell us about both of these books? What were the inspiration behind them, and how can readers benefit from these books today?
Absolutely. My very first book is called The Mask Behind the Mask, and that is a poetry and spoken word book that I put together for people to love all the imperfections despite of what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. The inspiration from that book came to the fact is that one, I experienced domestic violence, and being that people show you so many faces, why not title it The Mask Behind the Mask? Because someone always has the mask behind that other mask. I also titled it because of my four health conditions. Experiencing four different health conditions: fibromyalgia, which is chronic nerve pain; ankylosing spondylitis, which is authorized my spine and goes to rest my joints, or rheumatoid arthritis; osteoarthritis; and having a polycystic kidney disease. You never know what it takes for a person to get up and show up. So, that's another reason of why I titled it The Mask Behind the Mask, because, you just have to think the imperfections that people deal with. They show up with a smile and you never know what's behind it. My second book is the spinoff of it because, I've already told you carry a mask. I've already told you that you've been hurt and you're dealing with these things and you're carrying it behind the mask. So why not help break off those pieces of the mask, which is why I titled it Unveil the Pieces of a Broken Mask, because I then return wants to help people empower and heal and forgive. I want them to break off the trust issues. I want them to break off the anxiety, the depression, the fear, just all the baggage that we tend to take to other relationships, if we don't heal or forgive from the past experience that we had. And I actually just released a new book too as my children's book. It released today. It's called The Power in Me.
Wow,
So
I'm excited you said that exclusively with us. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Shana. I mean, no one could have tell because you're just thriving and you're just succeeding in all that you do, which makes me want to get to your accomplishment. Because I've noticed that you did, receive a Purple Ribbon Award of Courage, Viewers' Choice Award, and of course, Global Africa Fashion for Peace World 2021. Can you tell us about this experience before we go further?
absolutely. The Purple Heart Award of Courage actually came through the program that I went through after going through domestic violence. And I was awarded that for the fact of me publishing my book and becoming an advocate for domestic violence and, going back to the shelter and, giving back to the ones that are trying to walk the same line I've walked of being in a domestic violence relationship and trying to recover after it to learn to heal and goes to the next stages. So I got that award in 2019 for that. And then the Viewer's Choice Award actually came from my domestic violence documentary film that I did in 2020. And that was to, basically to educate, to show people that, it's not just women that go through it, it's men. And then it's not just the people you're dealing with, it's, the children. Because I allowed my daughter to talk about how it affected her as far as seeing me go through it and, how traumatizing it is. So it's just to educate, inspire, and motivate people that, honestly, it's not healthy to stay in a toxic relationship, and it's not healthy to have all this around your kids and everything else. So it's, just a way to, and, enhance a lot of things about people, showing them the flags, helping them understand that there is life after trauma, and, just help them walk a different path. I actually was, my other award I actually just got as well. It's not on there, but I did get Woman of the Year this year is 2021 gone. So that was an awesome experience as well. And to actually get the Global Face for African Fashion for Peace World 2021, that was a contest that was online. And, people have to vote for you and you had to answer questions. It was just kind of pretty dope to actually get a crown from a whole nother place, because it was in Nigeria, Africa, and I'm in the United States.
Africa.
It was definitely a good
Wow.
experience.
This is beautiful, Shannon. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, this is very inspirational for most audience, I think, because especially our writing community, they don't know what's going to come out of their story. And you just went on with courage as the award speaks, and you did it, girl. Congrats to that. I think, Black women today need these inspiration because most of them don't think that whatever they're going through, they can come out of it. Can you tell us if persons want to get these books, Shana? Mask, Behind the Mask, and of course, the other one. Where can they go to get these books, and what's the
They,
cost for them?
they all can find them on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and all platforms. Or you can also contact me through my email, which is Escadine, is SGOURDINE16 @gmail.com.
Okay.
And also, you can also find it on my website, which is www.theladybehindthemask.com. The very first book, The Mask Behind the Mask, is I think it's $15.99 on Amazon. I usually just charge $16. And Unveil the Broken Piece of Mask is $19.99. And the new kids book that is out as well, that's called Power Me, which I allowed my daughters to co-author in as well. That one is 15 as well.
Wow. Thank you so
And
much for sharing. One last thing, Shana, do you have any future plans, of what's coming next? Because I am sure there's something in the making. You mentioned that children book. I want to hear more. What's next for Shana Gourdine?
actually, I have an album, a spoken word album that was called "I Was Always a Rose in the Darkness of Love." So I'm actually working on my part two to my spoken word album. I'm actually also working on the finale of the mask, which we call the reveal of the mask, which is to show people that they can be bold, fierce, that they can walk in their purpose, they can have faith over fear, and that they can just truly be who they are, and healed and forgiven, and take the steps, and just understand that the only way to be the best version of you, you have to take the initiative to work on you and do the things. Because after, just speaking to anybody that's been through trauma or just been through anything, it takes work to be in a better space. Because a lot of times we don't take care of our mental, and some of the mental and then the internal. And if you're letting all that manifest inside you, then, it's not healthy. So if you want a healthy you, you got to take care of you. It all starts with you. So self-care is definitely a big thing. Self-care, self-worth, and self-love is
Wow,
all.
you said it, girl. You said it all. I would have just asked you to give a woman some advice, but you just did right off the market. All right. Is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge before you go, Shana? Because I'm sure there are a few persons who have been with you on this awesome journey.
I'll always acknowledge my tribe, which is a few of my best friends that work with me unapologetic free, and that's also a domestic violence platform. I would always like to acknowledge my Feel Good Talk family, my what is it, Tent for Life family that I have now, and just everybody that supports me. Yeah, I just, you know what, if you support me good or bad, I still acknowledge you, because it just makes me,
Beautiful.
it gives me my push.
Amen. All right. Thank you so much. So there you have it, listeners. Our very own Purple Ribbon Award and Courage winner, and of course, or Global Africa Fashion of Peace World 21 winner, Shana Gourdine, our book author as well. And of course, she was here to tell us about her story, her history and inspiration behind her beautiful two books. Find them, get involved, and get a copy because there's so much for you to hear about this girl. All right. Thank you, Shana. It was a pleasure having you. And we're looking forward to hear some more of you in the coming future.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
All right.